Hello and welcome back to the Keystone Fly Fisher. Today we're tying the March Brown Clinger Nymph from Henry Ramsay. Hook sizes from 12 down to 14. For the thread, he calls for Camel A-dot uni thread. I'm going to be using the color wine. For the tail, 3 bleached moose hairs tied as long as the hook shank. For the abdomen, rusty harrop CN dubbing. I'm going to be using Hairline's ginger. For the ribbing, they call for wine metallic ultra wire. For the thorax, it's going to be the same dubbing as the abdomen. For the head is the same dubbing as the abdomen. For the legs, it's going to be brown partridge hackle. And for the wing case, mottled oak thin skin coated with 5-minute epoxy. On the screen, this is what the finished fly is going to look like when we're done. The 5-minute epoxy at the very end, and I'm not going to do it on video because I have a lot of other flies that need the epoxy applied to them, but whenever you apply it, it's going to go on the wing case here. So let's get into the tie here. And for today, I'm going to be tying on a Dairiki size 14 Nymph hook with a 1x long shank. And we're going to start by waxing our thread. And we're going to go about 60-40. Run this back. Break off the tag. We're going to run this back to right before the bend. And then we're going to grab a very small amount of dubbing. When I say small, I mean like minuscule. You don't want a lot here. This is just to build up a little dubbing ball on the back for the tail fiber, which is the moose hair, to stand up nice. So go ahead and get a very small amount. Get it on your thread. And we're going to take wraps at the back, and you want these wraps to overlap each other right on top of the last one. We're going to wax. Now we're going to grab the moose fibers. You want 3, and for a measurement, we're going to tie them in as long as the hook shank. So we got our 3, and you want them to be same length when you put them together, so the tips are all even. Okay, then we go ahead and measure, pinch it off, take a securing wrap around, and work that back to where that dubbing ball is. Okay, and then I weave the thread through each one of these to help keep them split. Alright, now we're going to grab our wire. First we're going to add a little bit more wax to the thread here. Get that wire up to about where the thread wraps end up at the front of the hook. So we'll tie that in, and then start wrapping forward. Go ahead and with the moose, pull them all up and twist them. They pop right off, no problem. And work that up to the front. Cover the rest of that wire. Then we work it back. And actually, before we come back, we're going to add just a little bit of glue on that tail to add some durability there. So just a little drop here. Don't need a lot. Okay, now we're going to work that thread back again. Okay, definitely wax the thread again because we're going to start doing the dubbing. And we want this body on this fly to be thick. So we're going to build this up and use quite a bit of dubbing to do it. Okay, start getting the dubbing on the hook shank, start working it up, get some more here, and again we want it nice and thick. Okay, go back through some nice tight wraps, and then we're going to start working forward again. Make sure you get your dubbing the way you want it here on this thread. Okay. Start working that up. More wax. There we go. Work this up until we get to the end of the thread. There we go. Now we're going to take our wire, we're going to start wrapping that forward. Nice, tight, even, segmented wraps. I'm going to tie that off at the front. Grab an old pair of scissors. Cut off the wire. Okay, now we're going to take a pair of hemostats that are flat, and we're going to flatten this body down. So give it a few pinches. I want that to be nice and flat. Okay, grab some Velcro. We're going to want to tease this out a little bit too. Get a nice buggy appearance here. There we go. All right, now we're going to work this thread up to the eye. And we're going to tie in our thin skin. And you want the shiny part of the thin skin to be facing up, as that's the bottom. So get a securing wrap there, work it up, and then we're going to start to get this to set the way we want it to here. You want the eye of the hook to be about in the middle of that thin skin. So that's how we're going to line that up. Okay, and then work that back. Nice, tight, even wraps. We're going to cut off this little excess tag here in the back for the thin skin. Okay. Take a few more thread wraps back to cover that up. Not a big deal because we're going to come back through with dubbing. So now we're going to wax the thread again here. Now we got that set for the wing case. And we're going to get more dubbing, start working that up to the front. Okay. Build up that dubbing noodle. Like that. Start making our wraps going forward. Again, we want to build this up pretty good. Okay. Continue taking those wraps forward, and we want to leave a little bit of room in the front here because we're going to tie in the legs. So for the legs, we're using Hungarian Partridge. And for the Hungarian Partridge, you're going to want to prepare it with the notch. So you have that V notch. We're going to put this right on top. And what I like to do here is take 2 loose wraps and then go pull up and back till that notch that you cut out starts to line up with the dubbing. And then get your legs the length that you want. And I'm pretty happy with that. Make them a little longer this time. So hold that down. Then we're going to take some tight securing wraps. And then we're going to cut off the excess. And clean that up just a little bit here. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to hold that back. We're going to wrap up toward the back of the eye of the hook. And we're going to stop there. And then we're going to dub and then go back toward the legs. So we get some more wax. Get more dubbing here. And this is going to build up the head of the fly. So we want to build that up nice. And then right where you left your thread, coming back, we're going to come back with the thin skin here. Pull those legs out. And we're going to make a nice tight wrap. We're going to fix that on top so we have the head of the fly. Move the legs out a little bit more here. There we go. Okay. So take a couple more tight wraps. Then we're going to grab our whip finish. We're going to do 3 wraps. Like that. Pull that tight. Go ahead and cut your thread. Okay, now we're going to take our scissors and make the wing case as long as you want it. I think I'm good right about there. All right. Make sure everything looks good, and then we're going to go with little bit of dubbing up in the front here. There we go. Take our glue and this wing case. So I'm gonna work on splitting these legs out a little bit better here so they don't get caught underneath. We're gonna flip that wing case up and we're gonna put a little bit of glue there to secure that down. Like that. Then you can grab your whip finish, whatever you have, press that down onto the body. Again, pull your legs out so they don't get caught up underneath of there. And something else that you can do here that I didn't do, completely up to you, whenever you're doing the wing case, you can cut. I'll do it here now. So since it's kind of like a square, kind of round it off a little bit to make it look a little more natural. So kind of like that. And there you go. That is the March Brown Clinger Nymph by Henry Ramsay. I guess I didn't cut that on top very well, did I? Hold on here. There we go. Okay. And again, we're going to put 5-minute epoxy on top of that wing case there, and that'll give it a really nice magnified view of the pattern that's on that thin skin. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps you out. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thank you.